So emails, for now, we are going to talk about only two types of emails. One is to make requests, and another type of email is to update or share information, share or provide information. This information can be something like instructions you want to share, it could be just updates you want to share, it could be a report you want to share, anything like that. Yeah. But we will start with the one to make requests. Whenever you write an email to make requests, your subject line should be just, it should start with request for. Okay. It can be request for approval, request for leave, request for information, request for update, request for anything. But then it is just request for something. No need of the word regarding in the subject line in emails. Whatever you write in the subject line, whatever you write in the email is regarding what is in the subject line. It is understood. So you don't have to use the word regarding in the subject line. And also avoid saying requesting for. No need of that ing, especially in the subject line. Just request for something. Okay. So request for something is your subject line. And then now you have to start your email, right? So how can you start your email? You're writing to somebody. What can be the first way? What can be the salutation in your in your email? Any guesses, Sanjay, Sunita ma'am? How to start after the subject line? How to start the email?
Respected sir.
Dear or respected sir, something like that.
Respected sir, you can use it if you're writing to some government official, but otherwise it is just hi or dear. Hi or dear. And you can just say the name of the person. But again, if it's government officer or somebody like that, respected sir. Yeah. But otherwise, no need of sir. You can go with the name of the person. Sir or not necessary to use sir or not. Okay, now after saying hi, don't directly jump to saying please send this information to me or please send this report. Don't go directly to the request. Start with a greetings. So like greetings for the day. Not advisable to say good morning, good afternoon when you start this email because you don't know. Sometimes people would be from different parts of the world. You don't know whether it's morning for them, evening for them, anything. You can either say greetings for the day, or you can also say hope you're safe and fine. Hope you're doing well, anything like that. In between, they said don't say hope you're doing well in an official email. It doesn't sound professional or something like that. But nowadays, after Corona started, people again started saying it's courtesy to say if people are to ask if people are doing fine. Yeah. So greetings for the day. Hope you are doing safe. Hope you are doing fine. Hope you are safe. All this is the first part. So this is your subject line. This is your salutation. And this is the first line, or this is your actual greetings. And then you can say, this can also be called, another word for this is exchanging pleasantries. Even when you meet somebody, you say, how are you doing? All that, right? So exchanging pleasantries is another word for this. Fine. So now the next part is you have to say what you're writing about. Even now, you don't have to jump directly to the request. I'm writing to let you know about something. Let you know that whatever you say. Once upon a time, people used to write very common way. Even now, we can write. So this email is regarding. This email is regarding my salary, something like that. So, or this email is regarding a leave request.
Sir,
Yeah, yes.
sir, for increasing the salary for email for that.
So you will start by saying this email is regarding uh, the increase in my salary, or you can just say this email is regarding my salary. And then when you come to the request part, then you can say I request you to increase the salary by certain percentage.
Yes. Okay.
So first you say this email is regarding this. This email is regarding, or I am writing to let you know that. Another way is I would like to let you know that. So this way you are just introducing the topic. First line or introductory line, whatever you call it. I'll just put it as introduction or purpose. Okay. Conveying why you are writing the email. And now get into the details. Make the actual request. I request you to. Don't say I request you to please. It is understood. I request you to is sufficient. Okay. Or could you? Could you send these files to me, please? Could you approve my leave request, please? Or just could you approve my leave request? Either you can use please at the end or just say could you accept my leave request or could you approve my request? Sometimes people say, could you please approve my request? Nothing wrong, but it sounds very redundant. So it was repetitive. That's why it was considered as an incorrect usage. But then many people started using it. Even native speakers of English started using it. So when many people use it, it becomes an acceptable usage in English. So people nowadays write, could you please also? So I request you to, could you please? One more way is don't never say just please approve my request. That is like very rude, just saying please do this. Yeah. So say something more than that. I request you. Could you please? Or you could also say it would be great if you could. Sometimes, if you want to add more, you can say it would be of immense help, or it would be of great help to me if you could do this. So anything like that is a request. All these are to make request. So you have to finish these sentences. I request you to approve my request. Could you send this file? Anything like that you can finish. Now last line. After saying all this, here you are the one making a request, right? Here also sometimes you can say if you have any questions, please let me know. But then here you are the one making the request. So maybe you are the one who will have questions if someone sends information. Here you could just end it with thanks in advance. Thanks in advance or thanks a lot. Anything like that you can say. In all the one of my bosses always used to write thanks a lot at the end, or many thanks. He keeps changing it, but then there's a thank you at the end before his signature. So there's a thank you, and then he writes regards at his name. So here just thank you. This is how you make a request. You write an email to make a request. So very simple. First line, second line, third line, fourth line. Just 4 lines for the email. You can use any one. Greetings for the day, or hope you are safe and fine, or hope you're doing good. Anything like that. Then let them know the purpose. Start with the subject. Okay, don't miss out on the subject. And then make the request. And then finally, you can say thanks in advance. So right now you're going to practice writing an email. You can write this on a notebook, or you can directly type it on WhatsApp also. Now the scenario, write an email to the HR requesting for your PF account details. Okay, let's assume they have it. So if you have to ask the HR for PF details, how will you write an email? Okay. So I want all of you to start writing. You can write on notebook or directly on WhatsApp also. Start with subject line, hi somebody, and then the 4 lines. Your purpose is to request for PF account details. Okay. Uh,
Sir, excuse me, sir. Sorry for interrupting. Sir, we can send in your email.
yeah, you can send it to my email also.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So all of you can start writing. Let's take next maybe 10 minutes to do that.
Sir, what is the topic?
This is the topic, dear. Okay, I want you and Praveen to imagine you are already working in some company. Okay, uh, there's someone called the HR. So the HR usually has the PF account details. So you have to write to the HR and ask for PF account details. So request for the PF details. That's it.
What's the please tell again, sir.
So you're going to write an email to ask for something, just like how you would write an email to ask your teacher to send some notes, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
instead of asking your teacher for notes, here you are asking another person who is called the HR. So you don't even need that. So you can just put dear sir or ma'am something.
Yes.
And then you are going to, instead of asking for notes, you are going to ask for PF account details. There's something called PF
PF account details.
details. Yeah. PF is called Provident Fund. Okay. Later you can Google it so that you will know more about it.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, my mom's account is currently, there's something wrong with it. It's currently, it's currently disabled right now.
Oh,
I won't be able to send the mail.
you can just write it on WhatsApp or write it on a notebook and send it.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll write it on WhatsApp.
If you have finished writing, please let me know. Once you finish it, send it to me on email or WhatsApp.
Sir,
Yes, Tim.
uh, we want to ask to HR salary want to increase.
No, dear. So you are just asking for PF details.
So what's the account details?
PF account details.
TF. Okay. Sir.
It's on the board, right? So you can see that.
Okay, sir. Okay.
This is your scenario.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I have received it from Sanjay and Ravi. I have given feedback also.
Sir,
Hmm.
sir, I have sent it my.
I have,
I have sent my email.
I have,
I have sent my email.
I have sent or I have SEND or SEN. What should you say? I have
I have sent
sent, correct.
my
SENT, not send, SENT, sent.
sent. I have sent my email.
Okay, I think I am educated. To which ID did you send?
Uh, sir, in you have sent me before in WhatsApp that email.
Check it. Okay. Sunita ma'am?
Sir, giving just 2, 3.
No. Tenapon, I haven't received your email. Check it. You see the email ID on the board. Send it to that ID.
Okay, sir.
Sunita ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, whatever you have written is okay, but in an official email, you don't have to go into so much of personal details. You can just mention, due to personal reasons, I need my PF account details. So you don't have to get into so
So
much
this
of.
is the first time I am writing, sir.
I understood. I understood. So what I am saying is, yeah,
Okay.
understand, but don't have to tell them everything. So we can just say, due to personal reasons, I want to know my PF account details. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Good. Otherwise, the sentences are fine. The last one, it would be of great help. I think we have written off or at time, not sure. Be of great help.
It would be of. Yes,
Of.
sir. Yes,
Okay,
it's
okay.
at of.
Great. Thank you so much. So now let's go to the next type of email. So now we have made a request. Now, if you are in a position where you have to share information, you have to provide information. Maybe sometimes you are the one who is sending the PF details to everyone. Just for imagination.
Sir, I sent it in WhatsApp.
Okay, I'll check that. So provide or share information. So if you're going to provide or share information, instead of request for, your subject would be update on or updates on something. Okay. You're either providing update or information about something. Sometimes it could be you're just writing to give some instructions. Can be instructions for any one of this. Any one of this if you are writing to provide information. Okay. So the next one is everything else is almost the same. Hi, greetings for the day. This is regarding this, that. And then instead of request here, it would be update or information, right? So update or information, what will you do? You will not say, could you do this, that, or not. So you would simply say, I have attached the document you asked for. I have attached the PF document or file, whatever it is. Okay. Sometimes if you are writing on the email, so you would say following are the steps to do this. Following is the procedure to change password. Example. Okay, just for example, I'm saying. So another way, when you have a list of things you are sharing, you can say following are the details. You can also say just following are the details. If you're not attaching it as a file, you can say following are the details. So instead of writing everything in your email, sometimes you would put something as an attachment, right? So for the benefit of Sunita ma'am, so we have a mailbox like this, okay? So, and here I would start my email with here I can say, are you able to see my mailbox? Here I will put my subject line as same. I would be like update on or update on PF or just PF account details, something. In the email, I can say here, hi, so and everything I can write. Then I could just say I have attached the PF account details. So which means what? There's this pin-like button which is called the attachment button. So if I can go here and then something will appear. Okay. In my computer, I would already have that file. So let's say this is my file that I want to send. This is the PF file. I'll just click that and it will get attached. So in that kind of a case, I would say I have attached the PF file or something like that. Or I would just say following are the PF details, and just below that on the email itself, I put the PF number, name, amount collected so far, all that. Okay. So these are some of the ways in which I can talk about that. Now, instead of thanks in advance, I would say here I am giving information, right? So people they have questions, they can tell me. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I would be happy to help. I'd be happy to help. I'd be more than happy to help. I'd be glad to help. You can use all of it. So now here, what are we doing? We are not thanking. We are offering additional assistance. Okay. And finally, you can say thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Many thanks. You can finish your email. So here is how you can write an email to provide updates. Now you have to write an email to your superior, to your manager or somebody, okay? To your manager or teacher, whoever it is. Write an email.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, we are asking some request, and then they didn't do that work. We will not thank a lot. They didn't do that work.
If they didn't do it, you won't thank a lot. Here, here you are not asking them to do something. Here you are telling them I have given you something. If they haven't, if you asked already and they don't give, you just have to say gentle reminder and remind them once again.
Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So write an email to your manager or to your boss or your teacher. About the tasks you completed this week. Okay. School students, you can write about what are the topics you studied this week. You can write to your teacher. And others, you can write to your manager or you can write to your boss or even to a client about the tasks that you have completed this week for their project. Yeah. So following are the tasks I have completed this week. Point 1, 2, 3, 4. So any 2 or 3 points you can write like that. Okay. So yes. Any questions around this scenario?
No, sir.
Okay, you can start writing. Again, you can write on your notebook or WhatsApp, whatever it is. You're just going to tell people how much work you completed. That's it. And you're going to do that on email. Okay, let's take 10 minutes to do that. Only 3 corrections. Subject line, there's a correction. Update or information. After introducing the purpose, there's a correction. And then finally offering additional assistance.
So I have a doubt.
Yes.
What we are going to asking for, like
You're not asking, you are giving information now.
giving information about new task or already finished
This
work.
week, whatever you did. That's it. So far, whatever you did. 4 days. Right. So
Sir?
Hmm.
Sir, I think I've written this mail to you once, in the previous workshops.
Yeah, you would have.
I remember writing that. Yeah. So should I write it again?
You can choose a different. You can give updates on something else.
Well, I don't know any other thing. So,
Why don't you write an email to give me instructions on how to restart a computer?
okay.
I finished writing it. You just had to change one or two lines. That's it. Okay, I've got one. Okay, I think some of you are taking a little longer. I would like all of you to finish writing the email and you can send it to me on WhatsApp. Okay, maybe tomorrow I'll check it before the class. So Sanjay has sent. Okay. Sanjay, you have written an email to give a task. I asked you to write an email to inform about the tasks that you have already completed. About the tasks that you completed.
Okay, sir. Okay.
But anyway, that's okay. I'll check the language in that itself. Whatever you said.
Okay.
Do not use capital letter in between a sentence. That is not necessary.
Okay, sir.
And one more thing. So when it comes to the emails, you need not give a big space before this. All are on the same line. Like the second sentence, first sentence, everything in a paragraph is on the same line. That's how we write emails, right? I'll show you an example of my original email. Like something I said. Okay, fine. I'll just take this. Okay. So hi all. This shouldn't be the case. So now everything is in the same line. Hi Meenakshi Sundaram. Thank you for registering. Following are the details. It's all in the same line. Okay. You don't have to give an extra space for the first line of the subject, first line of the paragraph. Okay.
Okay.
That is not necessary. And do not use any capital letter in between a sentence. Unless it is the word I, you don't have to use capital letter in between the sentence. Only if it is the word I, not even the letter I, word I, referring to myself. Then this Sunita ma'am has also said. Yes. Perfect, ma'am. But this regards Sunita is on the right side. So it is only in letter we put it on the right side. As it's an email, it is everything is on the left side. So again, I'll show you my example itself. I blah 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 blah. Everything is there, and here is my signature. Regards, Balaji Ram. Everything is on the left side itself. When it comes to emails, it's all on the left side. So that's it. So I'll go through that, and if there are any language errors, I'll let you know. Sunita ma'am, there are no grammatical errors. Right. So Tenu, you can send it. I'll check and reply to you. Sanjay also, if there is any grammatical errors, I will reply to you.
Okay.
All right. Any questions from any of you before we close for the day?
No, not from me.
No, sir.
The question is,
Mhm.
sir, I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not regarding the emails.
Okay.
It is grammatical part.
Mhm.
So I have seen many people always speak in their English, have, had,
Mm.
had, have. Sir, why this use and when it is used?
Little complicated. So have had, there are two ways of using it. So one way to use it is have as an action by itself. Have means ownership, right? So like I have a car, I have a home, right? They have a house of their own. Now we can also say she has a car. For he, she, and it should be has. I, they, you, we, all of it, it's have. Only for he, she, and it is has. Now this is ownership. Another one is eating. I have breakfast at 8. They have, or rather, we have, we have dinner at 8. Or he has lunch. He usually has lunch. Usually has lunch. Here has. That's one here. Right? So this is for when it refers to eating. Now the next scenario is when you use these as a helping verb. You already have one more action verb, but you also have this have or has. For example, I have learned music. I have learned Java. Or I'll say I have worked on Java. If it is she, he, it, again it should be has, right? He has learned Chinese. She has performed on stage. Now all these are correct. These are actions that happened in the past. Like I learned music is also past. I have learned music is also past. But when you say I have learned music, it is relevant to present also. Though the action happened in the past, it is relevant to the present. In other words, it has an impact on the present. How does it have impact on the present? When I simply say I learned music, It means I learned music and I forgot it. Now I don't remember it. I learned music once, but I don't know. But when I say I have learned Java, I have worked on Java, it means I worked in the past. So now I can work on it comfortably. I know how to use that. I have learned music. Now I can sing. I learned only in the past. Now I am not learning. But as I have learned, I can sing. If I simply say I learned music, then it means I learned, but I forgot. I don't think I can sing now. He has learned Chinese. Now he can speak in Chinese or he can understand Chinese. Today, there's an impact on the present. There is an effect on this moment. She has performed on stage. So now she doesn't have any stage fear. Nowadays, she doesn't perform, but she has performed earlier. So it's not a problem for her. Now she's good with it. It has an effect. Does that help now?
Sir, one more question.
Yes.
Sir, in the same sentence, sometimes people says I have had and dash
People
dash.
say what?
People say I have had, and they continue the next sentence. So, sir, I want to know.
Same thing, right? So just like I have worked, I have learned. So what are they using here? If I have to give you grammatical explanation, then what they are using here is they are saying have or has plus verb 3 or past participle.
Past participle.
So learn, learned, learned, work, worked, worked, speak, spoke, spoken. Yeah, like that. Give, gave, given. He has given many speeches, so now he is very confident. Right? So give, gave, given. He has given many speeches or delivered many speeches. Now, what you're asking is, what does it mean if I say I have had, right? It's the same thing, right? Have as the main verb is the ownership, or it refers to eating. So I have had dinner, which means already full. I'm not hungry anymore. I have had my dinner. I have had my breakfast. Okay. But then sometimes it is also ownership, something that you have. I have had a car before. I know the experience of owning a car. I know how much it cost, how much fuel I should fill. Yeah. I know about it. That's it. I have had a car. Now I don't have a car, but I have had it. So I know about the experience. Or it could also be I have had such experiences before. Meaning, I know how what you're talking about. Oh, did you go on a cab and that guy was not good enough? Did he stop at some wrong place? Did he argue unnecessarily? Yeah, even I have had such experiences. Okay, so I have had a bad experience and I remember it. Yeah, so that is one more place where you can use I have had. Does that answer your question?
Sir, it is also correct. I had have. There is any
No. There's
sentence?
nothing like I had have.
Okay.
Because
only I have had.
I have had or I had had. Because it has to be followed by past participle V3 form. Okay, I had is more complicated, so I not do not get there now. It can become very confusing. For now, we'll stop with this.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let's call it a day then. If I find any errors in any of your writings, I will get back to you. Otherwise, we'll meet tomorrow once again at 9 p.m. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye.